time for that spring reset. I'm taking a look at everything in my closet and figuring out that, oh no, this absolutely needs to go. And it's about time I replace things so that my clothes aren't older than my 15-year-old. Now you might think that they lasted that long because they were well made, but no, they're in terrible condition. Unlike the new jeans I just got from Quince. Jeans have always been my personal go-to because you can kind of wear them for lots of different things, but maybe they're not your thing. Maybe you're looking for, 100% European linen with insanely soft flow knit activewear fabric. It's definitely getting warmer, and their flow knit activewear is moisture wicking, anti-odor, and soft enough that you'll actually want to wear it every day. So pick out what you want. You can't go wrong because they have prices 50 to 60% less than similar brands. And like I said before, they are high quality. I continue to wear their clothes all the time, and I know that these new jeans are going to last me a lot better than the other things in my wardrobe. And on top of it, they look great. They're so comfortable. And I spent just as much on the jeans that I am now cleaning out of my wardrobe. So if you're looking for something better, just all around better, go check out Quince. So go do it right now. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/falloutlore for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. Go to quince.com/falloutlore for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/falloutlore. Robots Radio. Games, lore, stories, community. Just press play.
Here we go.
This is the Starfield Lorecast. Roll call. Co-Commander Dave Chavins. Present. Co-Commander Tom, codename Robot. Present. We are calculating our descent into your speaker station. Stand by.
Welcome, everybody, to the inaugural first episode of the Starfield Lorecast. And for some reason, the video did not close itself. That is something I'm going to fix in the future. I, just before starting this episode of the very first Starfield Lorecast, did the research, and it looks like, according to the stats on the internet, that we are already the #1 Starfield podcast in the universe. I checked the stats. We are #1. I don't know if that has something to do with the fact that we are also the only Starfield podcast in the universe, but we're just going to chalk it up to #1. So congratulations. Not only is this our first episode, but it is a celebratory time for us to enjoy the glow of the praise of the internet, we'll just say. So welcome to all of our listeners. We are here live. It is Tuesday, the 13th of October, and we're live on twitch.tv/robotsradio, where all of the different lorecasts that I do show up. And I'm your host, Tom, or Robots, and I'm here with my co-host, Dave Chaffins. Dave, welcome to the show.
I am incredibly out of this world, excited to be here with you all today on this very first episode. By the way, I hope you are too.
Yes. Yes. And Dave, so my regular co-host Dave, and we have a special guest for our very first show, expert streamer himself, Tooniversal. Toon. Can we call you Toon? Is that okay?
You can call me whatever you want to.
Sally?
You're paying me, aren't you? I'm just kidding.
A round of applause.
A round of applause. Toon, welcome to the first episode of our show. Before we get into the details here, I just want to thank all of you guys for tuning into this. We know that there isn't a ton of information out there about Starfield yet, and if you're tuning in from sometime in the future, which is probably how you're listening to this, because how are you getting into the past and listening to this? That doesn't make any sense. Then you might be thinking, why did they start a Starfield Lorecast podcast so early before we really even knew a whole lot? Well, the truth is that we know a little bit, and we can talk about that. And The rest of it is going to be what I am going to call dangerous, ridiculous speculation. And I hope that you take everything that we say on this show seriously. Because
let me tell you, everything that we say in this show is going to be the rule of law. And anytime that we make any statement, any kind of prediction, anything, you need to take that very seriously. Like, you need to, when you go home, or if you're sitting at home, you need to like go to your corner and be like, you know what?
In your corner.
These guys are speaking very, very seriously.
Mm-hmm. So I want everyone right now, let's just practice this. Everybody who's listening, everyone who's watching, chat, all of you at home, put on your serious faces. So big smile. Let's convert. Big smile. Now take your hand, put it above your face, and then bring it down, and then serious face. And if we do laugh, there may be some laughter, but realize that the laughter that is coming from this point on in the show is serious laughter. So let's move into our first segment of the show.
Starfield News.
So we do have some actual news about Starfield, and there are some things that we have been able to ingest with our eyes and ear holes up to this date. Dave, what do we get? What do we have to talk about on the show that's actual real news?
Let me tell you something. Nobody has actually, in the history of the Starfield Lorecast, nobody's actually come out and covered anything that I'm talking about. So for us, this is all hot off the press.
It's true. It's true.
I think
hot
everyone would agree.
First time anyone's ever talked about this anywhere, ever.
So at E3 2018, back when we were just, young little tadpoles living out there in the digital stream, just waiting to see what Todd Howard and his fancy leather jacket was going to tell us next, there was a gigantic announcement in that Bethesda's rumored original IP game, Starfield, is coming. It released with a teaser trailer that is live. You can go. It's an official thing. This is official news. We saved this space for official news because we believe in the officialness of the news. In fact, we need to get like a referee here to discern whether it is official or not.
This is what we like to call the no fake news zone.
Yeah, this is the no fake news zone. So there was a trailer that got put out, and let me tell you something. I'm like a nurse practitioner here, and I'm gonna get my finger on the pulse. What you all thought?
You touch that
about
pulse.
That.
Touch that pulse.
I am right here in the little corner. I'm touching it right now. What did you all think about the teaser trailer?
The teaser trailer? I thought that the logo looked very nice, and then recently somebody noticed that they changed the font slightly on the website, which I'm not gonna lie, a little bit disappointed by. And I mean, by a little bit disappointed, I kind of pitched a fit on Reddit about it. That wasn't my account. Don't look at the account name. That was somebody else's account.
It was somebody else?
But yeah, because things like that are a big deal on the internet.
So right now you're Martin Luther, and you've gone to the Catholic Church, and you're about to take your stake and nail it to the front back in the Dark Ages, the medieval times, whenever he was out there, the Renaissance. Whenever Martin Luther, the
beginning of the Reformation,
the beginning of the Reformation.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. What's your thing on the font, man?
I'm just making stuff up. I think it looks cool. So the teaser, we basically got like a logo, right?
Hold up. You said we were being serious here. What is this?
I'm being serious about not being serious. No, I mean, I like it. It's got the circle. It's got the nice Arial looking font, but then we've got the A without the cross across the middle. It's cool. It looks good. I think I'm good with it. What do you think, Dave?
About the font or the teaser trailer?
About the teaser trailer. Let's go to Tune. Yeah. Tune, what do you think about the teaser trailer?
About the teaser trailer, I was, my speculation wheels started turning, right? Whenever I saw like new Bethesda IP, I'm like, holy crap, is this going to be Fallout in space? That's what I thought. That's what my initial thought was.
Yeah, Fallout in space. I mean, I think that's what everybody was wondering. And some people have been like, heck yeah, give me some Fallout in space. And other people have been like, it better not be Fallout in space. They better do something better than just Fallout in space. So we've seen the gamut of emotions on this.
Yeah, it seems like that stylistically, and just from the teaser trailer itself, from that satellite that they showed, that looks like that looks more realistic. It seems more grounded, even though it's sci-fi and it's futuristic. That satellite looks like something that we legitimately could build, like we would be able to see in our lifetimes, where it's like massive amounts of solar panels and there's a lot of it's kind of like it looks like the International Space Station, like that. Whoever was the interior designer or architect of that, Marie Kondo or whoever that may be, it seems very similar to that in some ways.
Grounded in reality, like realish science and technology.
Mm-hmm. Like Fallout is very grounded in 1950s science and technology, and Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, or just Skyrim for those of us who are like, nope, nothing else exists.
Just the one game. That's it.
That's very grounded in like Tolkien-esque, the world, the architecture, that kind of stuff. So I think that it had me excited because we haven't really seen anything outside of, and the only other thing that I can think of that has that kind of design just from the teaser trailer itself is Mass Effect, but I don't think that it's a little too sleek. This looks a little less. This looks a little more like we tried really hard to put the satellite up there, and we're not flying around like a bunch of. This isn't Star Wars, essentially. This is Starfield.
Yes, yeah. I think that resonates with some other stuff that we got that we can talk about in a second. So, any other thoughts on this, Dave?
Just that apparently, I think at the end of the trailer, they warp something out of there. It could be the satellite. It's everybody goes to warp speed at the end of this trailer. And I mean, that put me at quite the warp speed. I mean, if there was a nice handlebar on me, it'd been pushed all the way forward and I'd be right out there, going to town.
Go into town.
There's also, I was rewatching it today and I noticed in the bottom left-hand corner, letters, and this may be even getting into it, but it's ISNOJ, which I have no. ISNOJ is not
spelled backwards. Is Jonesy.
Jonesy.
Who's Jonesy?
That's
Jonesy?
The main character. That's gotta be the main character.
All right.
What we said is all fact here, folks. So
yeah, from this point on, when we're looking at pictures of astronauts and things like that, we're going to call that astronaut Jonesy. It's official. Yep. Okay, so the other information we have in video form is an interview with Elon Musk and Todd Howard talking about technology and the things that Elon Musk is working on, and a lot of it's about putting games in the Tesla cars and all of that. But there are some sections where Todd speaks about little details about the Starfield game, and he brings up a few different nuggets, I guess you could say, of information here. And some of these things connect to some of the stuff that we were talking about in the trailer. So the first point here is that space travel, according to Todd Howard, is as dangerous as flight in the 1940s. So what exactly does that mean? Let's think about flight in the 1940s. Flight had been established for a number of decades. So these aren't just the first people to be on planes. But in the 1940s, you had the beginning of air travel for recreation, things like airliners taking people from one continent to another continent across the ocean. You had
a lot of Zeppelins.
You had people who were trying to travel further than anybody had ever traveled without refueling. Adventurers like Amelia Earhart, who were trying to circumnavigate the globe, all of these kinds of things, right? So we're on the cusp in the 1940s of basically a time period where it is almost comfortable and safe to travel, but we're still pushing boundaries. So I have a feeling that that's kind of what we're looking at when it comes to Starfield, is this idea that the universe is, or maybe just our galaxy, places in our galaxy, stars nearby, something like that, is attainable, but still dangerous. And if you push those boundaries too far, you're going to be crashing into suns or running out of fuel or being marooned on a planet somewhere or just lost in space. What do you guys think?
I like the weird. It seems like that they're going for just from the teaser trailer, just from what Todd Howard's talking about. They're going for a more realistic approach, and there's people in the chat that are talking about how they want to differentiate it from Outer Worlds. But really, if you've played the other game that it's often confused by, the Outer Wilds, That is like you are in. It is a space game, and you are in this like rickety spaceship, and you could fly it directly into the sun. You could totally mess up into gravity. You could cause a number of problems. You could break it. You could lose oxygen. You can jettison yourself. Like there's this like danger in that comes from just flying around. And so it seems like that they're playing around, and Bethesda in general has been playing around with survival mechanics. And it seems like that they have like this like fledgling interest in it by survival modes, both in Fallout, kind of making it and testing it out in Fallout 76. There was one mode in 4, and then they added it as like a Creation Club content in Skyrim. And I've played some of that. So I think that there's going to be some. So it's not necessarily like, oh, gotta have food, gotta have water, but there's going to be some sort of like interesting resource situation, I bet you, where
you have to prep. Be like, oh, I have a feeling you have to prep. You have to make sure that your ship is ready, that you are fueled up, that you have all the resources you need, and that you're able to make the journeys and movements before heading out into the world. And I want to pitch this to Toon, because Toon, I know you started. Let's go back to some of the original games from Bethesda, and you've got the early games in the Elder Scrolls series, games like Daggerfall that you were a big fan of back, when that came out, and in those games,
NHL 1998.
In those games, other than NHL, you had to be very careful. It was very easy to die in those games. If you picked something up and it pricked your finger with poison and you got some sort of weird disease, maybe you died within 24 hours of the game and you didn't even understand what happened, but you had to figure that out and you had to restart and go back to a previous save or whatever. Do you think, Toon, that we're going to see kind of a return back to this Wild West of role playing?
I certainly think we could. I like where Dave is going with some of his facts. I don't know. What do you say? Theories here? They're all facts, right?
They're all facts. Yes.
Some of the theorized facts that he has. Yeah, I think that going out fully equipped and fully prepared is a fantastic thing. But you know how Bethesda does their thing. It's like they love for you to be able to carry stuff. And
yes.
I don't think that that's going to change. I think that there's going to be ways that you can load yourself down with stuff and be pretty prepared for whatever you are going to face out in the universe.
So this is going to be like inventory management in space.
Yep.
It's a carry. It's going to be like, okay, so it's like Death Stranding 2. What you're saying is even more carrying.
Even more carrying.
Yes.
You're gonna be
2 weapons is not enough. You need 3.
You need
4.
Yeah.
You need to bring extra oxygen.
I already forgot the character's name that we made up. Jonesy.
Jonesy.
You're gonna be Jonesy in space with a big gigantic backpack. There's like little thrusters coming out the back. No spaceship, just go from one planet to the next.
If this is like other Bethesda games, we're gonna get to name our characters. I'm gonna name my character Jonesy.
I will too.
Jonesie. Jones.
And here's the thing: I would recommend everyone to this podcast. Let's just all agree that we're all going to name our characters Jonesy.
I think we should take this another step forward. And if this is
male, it could be female. Jonesy is kind of a weird. Work. It could be whatever.
Ambiguous.
Now, I think we should take this another step forward, and assuming that maybe this game is also multiplayer and has factions and guilds and whatever, that we form right now the Jonesy Guild, the Jonesy Guild, the Jonesy Academy, something like that. We'll come up with a good name, but it'll be based around Jonesy. And in order to be part of the guild, you also have to be named Jonesy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe in Jonesy, our father, from whence all Starfield custom characters come from.
The original
Jonesy.
They
have large noses or very small eyebrows or burn marks on their face. I believe in Jonesy, our father.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is going to be like the Mothman cult just basically, for Starfield.
Yes.
Yep. The Jonesy cult. So the other thing that we have, the other details that we have from this interview video are things like helium-3 being used for fuel source. Helium-3, I'm assuming that means helium with 3 electrons. Helium is supposed to have 2 electrons naturally. Given an extra electron, it becomes an ion. It's an ionized elements, which means that you can strip the electrons off of it for energy, maybe. I'm not a chemist or a physicist, but...
You're not an astrophysicist, but
that makes sense to me based on my 10th grade chemistry class.
Yeah.
What about Helium 76? I heard that's the multiplayer. Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah,
Helium.
Helium 76 only exists in vats of the FEV virus in Fallout.
Yes.
Then also, Todd noted that this will be closer to real life physics. So maybe there's going to be things like, dialing in your launch trajectory in order to get off a planet and that kind of stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, give me like a Fallout meets Kerbal Space Program, and I'm all about that. It's like, let me just wreck everything. Please let me fill out my fantasy of being the absolutely worst astronaut in spacefarer there possibly ever could be. And I just like add in like a flaw, like a character perk where I just like crash everything constantly. That's
yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what I like.
We have in chat here, we have Ibby 1506 who says, given the initial reaction to 76, I'm not sure multiplayer would go down well. So here's a thought. We know that they have specifically been doing things with the games that they currently have out as research for future projects. So what if they take by the time this comes out, 3+ years of Fallout 76 knowledge and experience and combine that with things like Elder Scrolls Online experience and knowledge, and are able to package that together with a much more polished release for the multiplayer portion of Starfield. What do you think about that?
And maybe some Microsoft money by then,
And some Microsoft money.
Get that Bill Gates money, baby.
Some Microsoft servers.
Bill Gates, take me to space. I want to get in that spaceship. Bill Gates, take me all the way up there, baby. Sorry, I got too excited about that.
Yeah, you love Bill Gates. We know.
Bill Gates. What are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that I would like to see something more like Far Cry, where they've done stuff with their multiplayer recently, where it's like you can play a multiplayer, but it's limited to like 4 people.
Yeah.
Or 2 people.
I always throw out State of Decay 2 as an example. State of Decay 2 did it really, really well, where, you have 3 other people that can come along with you, human people, but they can't advance their part of the story. Only you can advance your own story on your own server. So when 3 people join you, they can give you stuff, they can help you out with stuff, but they cannot advance their own story. They can help you along on your server in your story.
So it's like a limited multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
Co-op, mostly co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, very cooperative. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the other thing
that's how Far Cry has done it with some of their missions and some of their. I think the original one was Far Cry 4 when they started doing the multiplayer, but it was like tuned with the State of Decay 2 where it was like you couldn't advance it. But I think I'm pretty sure it was New Dawn. That's when they started doing the excursion adventures or whatever, and those were like more RPG like. They were essentially just daily ops that Fallout 76 does now. So
gotcha.
But probably better.
Probably better.
Yeah,
I like the daily ops. Anyway, we'll talk about that on a Fallout show in the future. The last thing that he noted here is that it plays further in the future, which makes sense for this being space travel flights similar to air travel in the 1940s. Because if it was current day or just a few decades from now, we're not going to be at that point. Space travel is still very dangerous, and there are some private companies that are working on the ability to do that. But let's extrapolate this out a few hundred years, and we might be at a place where private companies are, where you can just pay like you could to fly across the ocean, a company to just, maybe there's Delta Space Lines or something like this, and you fly up to the moon or Mars or wherever, and the convenient places are safer. But if you want to go further, it becomes more dangerous, more expensive, which would make sense because continents aren't moving in relation to each other very quickly. I mean, technically they are by like centimeters a year.
Tectonically
they are. But when it comes to, say, planets moving around the sun, you've got different patterns of rotations around the sun or stars around the galaxy. Everything's in motion in a much more complex way. So charting travel between those objects is going to be more difficult than, say, just flying across the ocean. So, any other thoughts on this before we move on?
I'm curious. I'm curious if it's kind of building off of the corporations and how it's gonna be like Delta where we fly out. Is it gonna be more like that, or is it gonna be more Star Trek? That's one thing that I'm incredibly curious about. Where is it gonna be like we're all frontiersmen and women
Yeah.
are going to go.
Well, let's think about it like this. If you were to chart a trip today, let's say you could get on Delta Space Lines and fly to Mars. That would, with current rocket technology, that takes months. That would take months of travel just to the nearest planet, or not nearest, but second nearest planet in our solar system, right? If we were to try to travel to any of the other planets or moons of, say, like Jupiter or Saturn or something like that, that would take years because the distance is significantly more as you get to the edges of the solar system. Each planet is what's the word? What's the chart where the line goes straight up? Exponentially further from than the previous one, right? So if you were to travel to a different star, now we're talking light years, and nobody has light years to do this. If you're traveling light years, then are you being put into some sort of cryo chamber and preserved in order to move that distance? If that's the case, by the time you get there, everybody you knew back in where you came from is dead because they weren't cryogenically frozen. Socially, does that even make any sense for anybody other than somebody who's just immigrating out of the solar system to another planet to just live off their year somewhere else? So for this to make sense on in any sort of social way, then we need some sort of light travel, right? Some sort of faster than light
travel.
We need to be able to bend space. We need to use wormholes or something like this. The other difficulty is if you try to just keep speeding up things, then they get closer and closer to the speed of light, which means that they are moving through time at a different rate than the other things that aren't moving at that speed. I don't know how much you guys know about physics, but there's a problem. Like, let's say you go 90% the speed of light. By the time you come back to, let's say you travel off to another place and you come back and it was a year of travel for you. By the time you end up back on Earth, it's like thousands of years from when you left, even though it was only a year in your time space, your space time. Yeah. So that becomes a problem as well. So maybe what they're doing is the technology has been found recently for something like faster than light travel, warp speed, where you are actually bending space and you're not traveling further, you're traveling smarter. And that's what I always like to say. Don't travel further, travel smarter. So that you can return to places and, time isn't messed up.
I think that's confirmed. I think that's confirmed. I think I'm going to call that confirmed because in the trailer, in the teaser trailer by Bethesda, we're talking about the gospel from Bethesda. They went to warp speed at the end of that. So I think
warp speed
had to have been warp.
It had to be.
It had to be.
So maybe this is like, if this is the 1940s of flight, this is only a few decades from actual, like, real flight being functioning and them being able to put, fighter jets in the air and, carry people across from continent to continent. Maybe this is just a few decades from warp travel being discovered, and we are now expanding out into the galaxy, trying to
further reaches,
find the boundaries of that.
Right, like a giant field filled with stars.
Giant field of stars. And on that note, let's move to our next segment.
On the night of June 10th, 2018, Bethesda gave us a glimpse at their new space-based RPG. Ever since then, we've been piecing together information in a series that we call Star Clues.
This is the part of the show where we talk about leaks and all sorts of things that have gotten out there onto the internet and people are using to bring more theories and ideas. And our first leak, and this came out just a few weeks ago, we got some what seemed to be screenshots from what might be a reliable source. Who knows? This is Jonesy. Our first one, Jonesy. This is Jonesy right here. There's Jonesy. Look at Jonesy. We see Jonesy's back, and Jonesy appears to be standing outside of some sort of what would you call? I mean, isn't it kind of like a spacesuit with a pack on his back, probably a breather to help him have oxygen. Looking at it doesn't look like a spaceship because of the structure on the bottom that's kind of holding it down to whatever surface this is on, but it looks like a home or a building of some sort on a moon or planet without oxygen is what I would call it.
Like a meteor, like an asteroid.
An asteroid or some sort of physical object in space,
A star station.
A star station. We'll call it that. The other thing that's notable on this this screenshot here is on the bottom left, we have sort of like a readout. But we can see some of the what appears to be UI of the game, and if you zoom in on it, let me see how zoomed in I can make this on my OBS, which can't be very much. Here we go.
Do it, OBS.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Here we go. We're zooming in. It's looking pixelated. So if you see down here, we've got what looks like an O2 to CO2 meter. Maybe that's the percentage of breathable air to non-breathable air. We have what looks like maybe a little radar thing on the top left. So there's like a circle.
Definitely a radar.
Or is that a radar? Or is that like a HUD map with a moon showing you
it's the phases of the moon.
The phase of the moon is compared to the planet that you're on, or something.
That's probably like day and night cycle. I mean, wouldn't you guess?
Yeah, day night cycle.
Like
that could be it.
It's definitely that too. Definitely.
Yeah. We have a triangle in the center with a 1 underneath it. I'm estimating that has something to do with gravity. Maybe that's Earth gravities. I
think that the thing in the upper right-hand corner is the gravity situation.
Gravity?
Can we pull that upper right-hand corner up here?
It's hard to see. Hard to see it, and it gets very pixelated.
I have an enhanced version, being the reporter that I am out in the investigative field.
So that says G. Okay.
It says G right there.
Yeah, on the right side of the meter. Yes, it's G. Okay, maybe that's gravity. And then what do you think the triangle with the 1 is?
I think that's the one thing it could be, which is the Illuminati, and that's why we're here today.
We have a triangle there.
So clearly, Jonesy is one of the Illuminati. He is.
That's how we got there in space. Yeah.
Could be atmospheric pressure. I mean, that's what I'm.
Maybe.
Yeah. It could be. How much calcium he has in his body. What's the rate of change?
That too.
On the bottom right, we have a health bar, stamina, it looks like, and a gun with what looks like probably ammo and some other resource with a number next to it.
Probably grenades. Maybe it's grenades.
Maybe grenades.
Nades.
Space nades.
Space nades. Space nades.
Space nades confirmed.
Space nades.
So, what do you guys think about this picture? Anything else in here that we want to note?
There's some letters.
There's
up
A
there.
and D.
An A and D.
And on the flight suit itself, there's a patch on the shoulder.
There's a patch on the shoulder. You can't really see that patch. I will say that the backpack looks like a backpack from 76. It looks like you could get that backpack in 76.
I mean, it is. Yeah, it's a Mr. Fuzzy away from being a backpack, folks.
Mr. Fuzzy away.
You put a cute little head on there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's got some thrusters on it too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is it seems like that there's some. Maybe it's jetpack time all the time. You don't have to grind out for your gold bullion to get your jetpack.
No more grinding.
Yeah, it
what
looks
is
like
the Bethesda game. No more grinding.
Yeah, it looks like there's jetpacks on the back. You got some jetpacks on there. You've got a helmet that's kind of plugged into it. There's some, elbow pads and knee pads. There's some pockets. So I think Toon is right. We will be able to have inventory because they are pockets.
Deep pocket mods confirmed.
Mm-hmm. I think with the elbow pads, I think that we were definitely talking about. I mean, maybe there's going to be like space skating
or space volleyball. You don't know.
Space volleyball,
space sports.
Space sports
or
space roller derby,
sports, as I like to call them. Sports. Yeah. So that's the first image we have, and there's been tons of speculation about that, including people saying like, oh, look at this other game, and doesn't this item look like this item? And no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Internet, you are drawing connections between things that don't actually exist. Stop it. The other thing I want to note about this,
we're only allowed to do that.
Yeah, it should have been
that's our job.
Only us.
Yeah.
We are the #1 Starfield podcast. I'm sorry, that is our place.
Yeah.
The other thing to note here that I think is interesting is that you don't see really stars in the background. You see at the very top what could be a light or a moon, some sort of bottom half of what appears to be a circle.
Definitely a moon.
You think it's a moon?
I think you're right.
You also, at the very top right, the sky appears lighter and then it gets darker as you go away. So maybe there is a light source over there that's shining down on this.
You see some reflections off of the windows or panels, whatever that is.
Yeah, some reflections off the windows and panels. The other thing that this makes me think about, because the parts of the background that we can see are so barren is that I have to wonder if this isn't rendering, if this isn't just like a simple rendering of like a character in front of an object on a, you know, non-built out location on like a test and like a test location in engine.
Yeah, I think this is very early. I think that this is like so early. Like this could have been put together like a year or two ago. Like I don't think I my theory is that this is not a current representation of what it looks like.
Yeah, that would be my guess too. So we have another image here. Let's pull this one up. And by the way, stay tuned for Tooniversal has done some creative work on his own to bring about some renderings of his own based on some theories that he has for the way things are going to look.
Based on facts that I know. So
Toons facts. We call them Toons facts around the office. Yeah. But we'll be getting to that stuff later in the episode. But so right now we have this other image that leaked that shows what looks like a spaceship, sort of. It looks like it's kind of this patched together, deteriorated looking hunk of space ship. Did I say ship? I said ship. What do you guys think about this one?
I see more letters.
I'm. What do the letters mean?
Well, here, let's describe it for our listeners at home. This appears to have a central hull, which looks like it has some sort of storage space in it. There, at the very top left, you can see what looks like a glass semi-dome area with like glass panels for where the pilots would sit. You have in the back what appear to be lots of rocket engines. Also some rocket engines on what appears to be a wing that comes out to the side that looks kind of large and chunky. Along the top, you have what I don't know if these are fluid containers. They're kind of like oblong, like tankers, if I would describe that. And they have the letters B or 8 on there twice. I think it's a B, and then there's an N with some what appear to be tubes.
Or the pi symbol.
Yeah, maybe. And then below that is maybe a hatch. That might be a place. Maybe this is a hauler of some sort. Yeah, a hatch that can open up, and what looks like a platform that may unfurl and roll down in order to create a ramp. So that might be the way you can get.
It's a cargo ship.
Yeah, it might be a cargo ship. This doesn't look like a fighter. It doesn't look like a personnel transport vehicle. This looks like a cargo ship.
It literally has what looks like straps that are like strapped those rockets onto it. Mm-hmm. I think Tom is gone. Tom will return.
Oh, I'm here.
He's back now.
Tom is back.
Sorry.
Okay, cool. It looks like that it has these like straps that are attached to the rockets in the back. I don't know. Do you all see that? Or am I?
Yes.
Am I just like?
Well, or tubes. Like the back portion looks like where the engines are. Maybe that piece is temporary. Maybe that piece breaks away like launch rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe the straps disconnect. Yeah,
and it kind of looks like it's large, like it's not a gun, because I think some of the detail there on those this kind of like copper-ish, I guess, rockets. It seems like that there's like very small. They're like from the scale that you see, they're like very small panels, and so that leads me to believe that it is probably a spaceship. Yeah, this is. I mean, if you look at the front, what a crazy thing. Yeah, no, it looks like a spaceship. If you look at the front of it, where like along the top part of it, where you can see like what look like window panels. If you were to assume that each of those window panels could have a head in it, then that gives us a sense of size, a scale. That like a human being is, if a human being their head could fit in one of those panels, and then you were to lay a human being across the screen, we're at 20, 30, 40, maybe the ship's length is 50 feet long. Gives us something like that.
It's not massive.
It's not massive. It's the size of maybe a small jetliner, really. I mean, it's, we're talking like a modern day transport plane.
Yeah. Guys, we shouldn't measure this by its size, but by its content of character. I'll just remind you all. Solid
point. What do you think about its character then, Dave? What does this tell you?
Well, if the character's Jonesy, then it's my freaking favorite.
I think it's the finest hunk of junk in the galaxy.
Oh yeah, it kind of looks like that they're strapping stuff onto it. So I'm curious. You know, we're here in the Star Clues. You know, we're out here investigating
on the edge of
here
space. Yeah,
on the edge of space, kind of piecing together stuff. Is there going to be inventory management for ships where it's like, oh, you can put this rocket on here,
But
I'm going to say yes. Yes. Fact.
yes, fact.
Space fact.
so
Space fact.
I need a sound effect for space fact when we can just
Space fact. Yep.
Yep. Space fact.
yeah.
Space fact.
Yeah.
It leads me to believe that there's going to be kind of this like almost like not necessarily like I'm about to say Lego, but more of this customizable ship thing where it's like, okay, this is how much this ship can carry. You can put a lot of weapons on it and be very aggressive, or you can put a lot of storage on it and be very storagey.
Yeah.
Or
module. Like,
you know.
I think that's another thing that if you look at the first screenshot, you can see there, it looks like, and if we base this on ideas from the kinds of building that you can do in Fallout, modular pieces that fit together would make sense. So if you have modularized homes or buildings that you can create on structures, and then also modularized spaceships, then you can take pieces apart and connect them and basically build a ship however you want in order to get across the galaxy.
right.
So that makes
you
sense
kind
to
of
me.
figure out your best way. So like you, if you're playing like an all around character, generally my first character in any of when I play like a regular Bethesda game, like fresh off, my character's always all around because I'm literally learning the systems, because in every Bethesda game it's all systems based. That's what Todd Howard is known for. If you go in and you're like, oh, if you're in an interview,
and his handsome leather jackets, we have to call
and
him
his
out.
fancy shoes.
Yeah.
He's a systems guy. That's what he has made his career off of, is creating open worlds that have very detailed systems. So, I mean, how many systems can you fit on your ship?
I don't know. I think it depends on the kind of frame you have and how you build it out. Cobalt Captain in chat says modding a ship like a power armor frame.
That
could be
makes sense to me.
That would make sense. And it ties
Legendary
into
modules.
Yeah, it ties into all the other technology they've already been building for these other games. So it's just kind of an, extrapolation, and it's bigger, but it's the same kinds of concepts. Toon, what do you think about the very front of it? It looks like there's kind of like a sled, or
Bring it back
almost
up again here.
like I'm pulling it up again, like a bumper. Is that like a ramming?
That's
thing?
so, when they're parking their spaceship in space parking spots, that, they don't run into whatever they're close to what they're parking into, especially if, if there's valet, and they're trying to park real close to each other, so they don't, bump into each other like that. Space valet.
Yeah. Space parking is very difficult because there's a lot of inertia. Yeah. That's true.
And I guess maybe that's like a laser, because you got the cockpit right there. And if you're trying to target something, that would line up.
Oh, space laser?
Space lasers for sure.
Space lasers for sure. Space
You
lasers.
gotta watch out for space pirates. You gotta have some space lasers to
That's
ward
true.
off the space pirates.
That's true. I would be surprised if there aren't space pirates in this game. I mean, we get raiders and
There are
Fallout.
space pirates.
Yeah, space fact. Another space fact.
Space fact.
Sound
There are
effects. Space
pirates.
fact. Space pirates. New space fact confirmed. All right, guys. So those are the two leaked images we have. Any other last thoughts on this?
As to the validity of these, what do we think these are valid, or do we think these are invalid? And there's no gray area. You have to on one. I'm going that they are. I think that the Jonesy is valid. I think Jonesy confirmed.
Space fact.
This ship, you know what? I'm going out here on a limb. I'm saying it's valid. I'm saying they're both confirmed, and it's like maybe it's not in the game, but it's definitely like some concepting that they did.
What do you think, Toon?
I think so too. I don't think there's any reason not to think that these could be in some form or fashion true images from Starfield.
Okay, I'm going to go with valid as well, if only for the spirit of the images. So even if they aren't literally real, I think the spirit, the soul of the images
The spirit of the images.
The spirit of the images are still
We're not by
real.
the letter of the images. We're by the spirit.
Right,
of the images.
right. So in that case,
Content of their character.
yeah, sometimes it's not a literal interpretation; it's a figurative interpretation.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think in this case, maybe that could be true as well. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to go to the middle of the show. That transition is really long. I hope you guys were getting your space dancing on. Welcome to the middle of the show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Normally, this is the part of the show and any of the other shows that I do where I talk about our Patreon or leaving a review and those kinds of things. We don't have Patreon yet, but we might in the future. Dave and I might do that, especially once we're getting to more regular content. One of the things I wanted to point out here is that right now, this show isn't going to have a regular schedule. We're going to do it whenever we've got information or fun things to talk about. And so that might be monthly. That might be every other week. Who knows? But the more we get information, the more regular this show will become until we get some really solid drops of info. And then we're going to start doing weekly shows. We'll be talking about the world. We'll be digging into what we can learn about the news. And then once the show is out, we'll be digging into the lore and the background and all the details that you're going to want to know, all the juicy bits, and of course, updates for the game and all that kind of stuff. So that's what's coming up. So stay tuned for that. If you want to help us get out there on the right foot and make sure that we stay the number one Starfield podcast in the universe, then please look this up on Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review. And in the future, we'll read out your reviews. If you put words with those 5 stars, we'll read them out, and you'll end up on the show saying awesome words about the best Starfield podcast.
Yeah, on the very
universe.
first Starfield podcast, guys.
That's-
Help these two out.
That's
Give
true.
Jonesy a shout out while you're there.
Yeah.
Give Jonesy a shout out.
Jonesy.
Yeah, in
Talk
fact,
about some space facts.
I think all of you should sign your name at the bottom. Oh, you can't because it pulls in your name. But in the actual message, you should put, like, let's say your name is Mr. Pebbles. I don't know. That's the name I just made up. Maybe you put in between the two words quotes Jonesy. So you'd be Mr. quote Jonesy quote Pebbles. Then we'll just call you out by your Jonesy name, which we all know from the show is really your Starfield name, right? It's your star name, Jonesy. So please do that. This show, if you're watching live, if you're looking at the video on YouTube, if it's not out for Apple Podcasts yet, it will be soon. They are notoriously slow at approving new shows, but it'll be out there. We'll be on whatever other podcatchers that you are looking for. So look out for that. Also, this show, just like the other shows on the Robots Radio Network, is sponsored by our network sponsors, including a whole bunch of them, but specifically audiobooks.com. So audiobooks.com gives you 3 free, let me say that again, free, 3 of them, audiobooks, just for clicking the link in the show notes or the link that I'm going to put in chat right now in case any of you guys are interested, and going to the site and you just kind of sign up. You get 3 free audiobooks. That simple. No money, no credit card, 3 free audiobooks. Super easy. There you go. So checking that out will help out the show. It helps support us, and it gets you free books. So go check it out. Also, in the show notes, you'll see other links for some of our other sponsors like Gamefly, Green Man Gaming, NordVPN, and one more is Loot Crate. That almost fell out of my brain. I bet they're going to have Starfield Loot Crates.
They better have Starfield loot crates.
Oh my God. Starfield Loot Crates. Yeah, we've got a deal where you get a percentage off Loot Crate, but check that out. The deals can change over time, but check out the link by the time you're listening to this.
Little Jonesy action figures.
Little Jonesy action figures with spaceships and things in a Loot Crate.
Jonesy
Can you
Funko
imagine that in
Pop.
the future? But until then,
Funko Pop.
yeah, Funko Pops. Until then, if you're looking for audiobooks to listen to about space, they have pretty much everything that I've ever looked up on there for any of the shows. So go to audiobooks.com, use our link, you'll get 3 free audiobooks. All right, let's jam out some more before we move to the next segment.
Welcome to the cult of astrology.
I forgot that one isn't a jam. It's a very spooky, haunting sound. So this is the part of the show called the cult of astrology.
Let me interrupt you there, Tom. This is a very serious matter in which we have reached the bottom pit of the Starfield speculation. This is where we said extreme speculation. This is where the extreme comes in. This is the cult of astrology, and our listeners, our fans, the fans of Starfield,
wait.
right now.
Shouldn't that be astronomy?
No, astrology.
Okay, all right, we'll just go with it.
It's astrology. Yeah, because you're drawing predictions from the stars. That's what the definition of astrology is.
All right.
You think I didn't think through this, but I did, because the cult is forever, Tom. The cult is forever, and we are all here. And we're going to give some absolutely wild speculation. You thought I froze there for a second.
I did think
but
you
that's
froze
the
there.
power of the cult.
That's the power of the
There's
cult. A few situations here that would lead me to believe that you did freeze there.
You really
I did
did
not
think you
freeze
froze. So wait. Before we get any further, can we call this Jonesy's cult of astrology? And that will also also be our guild name. Jonesy's
He's our
cult of
messiah.
astrology. Yes.
Jonesy is our messiah. He's the messiah. Here, let's do a little prayer to Jonesy. Jonesy, we hope that you come soon. We lay out our Chewbacca action figures that we have put in our pocket that you may not have recognized there for the whole show. That's a little shout out to Chewbacca. Anyways, Jonesy, we thank you for this time that we have spent together, and we appreciate the coming of your great spaceship and space helmet that we will soon don and name after you, oh great Jonesy. Amen.
Amen. Namen. So, to kick off our first Cult of Astrology, Toon has brought us some predictive images. Toon, you want to tell us about how you came up with these? You want to intro this?
So, when it asked me to come on the show and be a part, which is an honor to be a part of the inaugural Starfield Lorecast out there, the number one Starfield Lorecast out there, or Starfield podcast, I was like, what if I brought in some, in the universe, actually, this is the number one Starfield podcast in the universe. I said, what if I bring in some renderings that I've created to sort of like, get some good talking points going with us, but also, to kind of make some predictions here about what we could see possibly coming to the game, whether it be a character or whatever it is, just wanted to like throw out some facts / theories, some theories.
You reached your mind out into the cosmos and brought back some more star facts for us.
That's what traveling beyond the speed of light will do to you.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
you have 9 images here?
I have 8 images here to show you guys,
8 images.
8 images.
They don't count past 8.
8 holy images to share with our great cult of astrology.
So,
I'm ready to receive
for Jonesy. All for Jonesy.
Okay,
all
so
for Jonesy.
Describe this first image. I'm going to work on pulling this up while you describe it.
All right, so this first image is Todd and his buddy Elon Musk were kicking it, and hanging out, and Todd was really, really inspired by SpaceX and what's going on there. So Todd decided that he would mention to some of the developers that he wants to bring in some of the some things from Elon Musk.
Okay, so here we have. Can you describe it for our at home audience?
Yes, I can. So basically, what this is a Tesla Model X that was Todd Howard got inspired by being around Elon Musk, and as you can see, it is equipped with some space boosters, some space lasers, and also space missiles on those gull wing doors.
I love it. The doors open up like the Back to the Future car, the DeLorean.
Well, that's what the Tesla Model X does. It actually has little gull wing doors. It has space missiles on it.
Yeah, space missiles. I see the space lasers in the front. You've got thrusters on the back and on the bottom. And by the way, for our listening audience, this is remarkably drawn in MS Paint.
Oh yeah.
We're going to be sharing
amazing.
these. This is a great opportunity to shout out that we will be having. We have an official Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for the show, and all of these in all of their wondrous glory for our great cult of astrology. Bless him, Jonesy. Will be shared on that social media platform.
Yes. And if you are listening to this and would like to see our meat faces talking about this in video form with the images, then you can go to the Robots Radio YouTube channel where you can look up the Starfield Lorecast episode 1. There will be a link in the show notes. So let's move on to our second image. Can you describe what we have going on here with our...
So mercantile is going to be an important thing. It's an important part of every Bethesda game, right? So what I have devised here is a space merchant.
Okay, here we go. Here's the space merchant.
So check out our space merchant
I have
here.
to zoom out. I'm a little bit too far zoomed in.
Yes, his name is
This This is a very high detail image. It's very large.
very high detail.
There we go.
His name is Tripod the Space Merchant. He is in his tripod outfit, and he has little twisty knobs and controllers there that he can help do things with. So he's Tripod the Space Merchant.
Almost looks a little. He looks inspired by maybe the aliens in The Simpsons. The ones that come out during the holiday specials.
Hey, this is what Todd Howard's brainchild here. Like, this is what Todd Howard did, not me. I'm just relaying information here.
I'm just connecting it to the closest thing I could associate.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm not saying this is identical.
There's a name for that. I can't remember what that's called.
Yeah. Very nice. I like the detail on the head, the kind of bean-shaped head. Very nice.
Yeah, he's got that triangle on his front. He's got that triangle.
It's like an upside down triangle. What is the triangle?
It's the Jonesy triangle. It's a very good observation.
Also, tripod, you only really need 3 legs for a chair to sit evenly. The 4th leg just makes it more complex.
Yeah. True. So
needlessly complex.
Very, very well designed by his maker.
Okay, let's move on to the 3rd image. What do we have here?
So this 3rd image, you're gonna see it's above a lovely blue world, but this is a space station where certain ships can dock on weary journeys and can refuel and can meet other people, and it's also has a lovely view of this luscious blue planet here we see.
Very nice, very nice. It appears things are in motion because the stars almost look like they're blurred in the background.
They are. It's moving really, really fast. Because, when you're orbiting the Earth, for example, the Earth, this is not the Earth, by the way, but, you're moving very, very fast when you're moving around the Earth, So,
yeah. I kind of, I'm thinking about the Milky Way here. And if I had a bunch of those space stations and put them in some milk, that would be some great cereal. I imagine
other space stations being able to interlock this because of its hashtag design.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Yeah. It looks like a flying space hashtag with other little ships on it. You've got like a helicopter-like ship and some rocket-looking ships, and maybe that's a little alien dome type ship on there with some lights. So I imagine this is a fairly large space station.
Yeah, somebody, all the lights are on too.
Yeah, E-Money Mills in chat says that's a flying skyscraper right there. Yes, very good, E-Money Mills. Yeah. I think that's an apt analogy. Flying skyscraper.
It's a space skyscraper. It's a space scraper.
Space scraper. All right. Yeah. So that's our 3rd image.
You got dirt on your toenails. Get a space
scraper.
I'm excited about this 4th image, Toon. What are we doing here with the 4th image?
So here in our 4th image, what I have is a rendering of Jonesy. Jonesy is in his alternate outfit, which do not draw any correlations from Doom Guy from this whatsoever. And then he is also accompanied by another race that you can choose to create, which looks like the Argonian, but it's not the Argonian.
Yeah, I was going to say this is kind of like a space Argonian.
Yeah, he's got his and we're going to get more detail on these weapons here in just a moment, but the space Argonian has a hand cannon, what's called the hand cannon, and then Jonesy here is packing a laser sword.
I can't remember any other laser swords from
other
space
sci-fi fiction. Yeah, they don't exist.
Yeah, I mean, it would be useful in wars, I suppose. Maybe if you were up in the stars.
Among the stars in a galaxy far away. Yeah.
I'm thinking. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the Argonian here, the space Argonian. Not an Argonian, but just a space. I think it's going to be.
Can we just say Space Gonian?
No. I know what it is. It's definitely a space cow from the.
From the what? You broke up there. Space cow from what?
From the moon.
Oh, you said moon.
I made a joke, guys. That's really funny.
That's a good one.
I'm really funny. Thanks.
All right, we're moving on to the next picture. So number 5 here, we have what is this, Toon?
So here is a close up. Like I mentioned, this is the flaming laser sword. A close up of it. A more
much more detailed. This is a much more highly detailed. Yes. In fact, we're so zoomed in, I can see the pixels.
Yes, and this is the purple variant. Of course, you will be able to customize your flaming laser sword any way that you wish.
I like that it's labeled purple bracket flaming laser sword.
You have to specify which flaming laser sword this is.
Yeah, do you think that they'll use this naming convention in your inventory so that you can sort by color?
Most certainly. I think
that's
color
very
is going to be
important.
very, very important. Yeah.
Colors will be very.
Color is very, very important. You have to make your mark. You have to be able to customize your character. It's a Bethesda game.
Right.
Customization is everything.
Right.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Now, the next image we have is the hand cannon.
Yes, this is I believe it's called
arm cannon.
The technical term is the arm cannon.
Yes, I'm sorry.
As you can see, it is firing. This is my fault. As you can see, it's firing a red blast beam of energy out of its opening right there. It has like it brings back a taste of maybe Samus from Metroid, something that she might have had at one time. And this little green thing is the fuel for it. So this is what powers. The little green fuel in there is what helps to power the arm cannon here.
So if you want to feel like Samus or Mega Man, maybe, then you can strap this thing on. I like this. If you're in space in some sort of microgravity situation, could you also use it to like propel yourself?
You could, if you were in a situation and you needed a blast of energy to maybe just kind of get you away from a specific situation or maybe move closer to something. This could definitely be a propellant as well. Very cool.
Very cool. All right. We have 2 more images. Let's move to the next. Ooh, we have a very interesting gun here. What is this one?
So every Bethesda game, you want to be an archer, you want to be a sniper, sneaky sniper. This is the sniper cannon here, and the scope is it has an extra large scope on it, and as you can see, it has a little satellite/radar dish on the top, so that it can draw in images from other places, and you can shoot really, really far then.
I like that this scope is almost in fact, it's larger than the barrel.
Yes, essentially, yes.
For the projectile. Husky Dork in chat says, Bethesda's lawyers are on the phone demanding to know how Toon got these leaks. Tell them, call back later.
Yeah, tell them we didn't sign no shit, and we're not doing it.
They didn't say anything about an NDA. We're good.
Yep.
Yeah. We didn't. These aren't leaks, really.
Yeah,
they're just mental projections from Toon.
They're just space facts.
Because they're just space facts.
Space facts.
Right. All right, and then we have one more image. I'm kind of sad that we're running out of images here, Toon. We're gonna have to have you back in the future.
If you have me on again, sometimes we'll work send some more images. I'll bring some more images.
Now you're a very highly ranked member of the cult with all of the information that you've brought to us. So I believe that could be something that we work.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So here we have the final image. I love the stylization here of the text for the name.
Yes. I don't know how that rendered that way, but again, this is what you get sometimes when you're getting images the way that I'm getting them.
It feels very futury to me.
Yes.
It's almost like just only the bottom half of a font. It's but I can tell that it says laser rifle.
Yeah, I know, but isn't it? But they wanted to be. I guess I didn't quite finish downloading the item, and it sort of left off some of the font right there.
That's. I think it looks cool. Yeah. So this is a laser rifle with rocket propeller attachment.
So, customization of weapons is a big part of a game like Fallout, and people love to customize things. Well, this is one of the customizations that you're going to be able to add to the laser rifle. It's a little rocket propeller attachment. So not only does this shoot space laser projectiles, but it will also, that little green dart up there, you can shoot that onto someone, the projectile, and it will stick to them, and it will push them away with propellant.
Wow.
So it's a great way to get your enemies off of you really, really quick. So
right. Or the creepy guy who keeps on, trying to talk to you at the bar.
Harassing you.
Yeah. You can be like, back off, buddy. And then you pull out laser rifle with repellent. And he's like, whoa. And you're like, no, whoa. I told you to get back. And then now he's on the other side of the bar.
And he has to walk all the way back over to start agitating you again. So.
Right. And you do that enough, and eventually it just gets tired and leaves. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Perfect solution.
E-Money Mills in the chat says, are these laser weapons going to take fusion cells? And I I think what kind of ammo do these
it's hydrogen 3. Hydrogen 3 is the
H3.
Yeah,
H3.
H3.
Okay.
Or helium. I'm sorry, helium 3. I got that wrong.
Nope. Hydrogen 3.
Hydrogen 3 is now really a thing.
Yep, H3.
It is a very unstable element. Awesome.
For an unstable weapon.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Toon. These have been very enlightening.
Yeah, good.
I hope our viewers are enjoying the look into the mind of Bethesda and Todd Howard.
I mean, I think they've knocked it out of the park with these. They've knocked it out of the park with this. I think this is stellar stuff they're coming out with here for Starfield. It's very unique. It's like nothing we've ever seen before.
Yeah. We're going to have to do a comparison in the future when we get more leaks from these kinds of items, and we can put them right next to each other. I have a feeling it'll almost be impossible to know the difference.
It'll be impossible. I think that, if you put them right next to each other, you'll be like, oh, there's that laser sword that Toon, brought to us earlier.
Toon's laser sword looks almost indistinguishable from the one in game because he did such a good job. Thank you for bringing that to us. Dave?
Yeah, I agree. I think that I'm very pleased with the work that you have brought to us.
Thank you.
I think that we will now have to move you up to a deacon within the
Jonesy
cult.
Okay.
The cult of Jonesy of astrology.
We haven't really laid out all the different levels yet, but deacon's pretty high up there, I'm sure.
There's only one deacon, and you're the deacon.
You're the deacon. Deacon too.
Wow.
So Dave, what is this game of stars you have here in this show notes?
Well, okay. This takes a little bit of preparation, so I've been preparing how to do this here. Just give me 1 second. Oh, and then this is.
I see is there a hat coming?
This is a multifaceted approach here. Okay, so first off,
glasses.
Got this.
Okay, Dave. Just so people at home listening can hear, Dave. Oh, he tilted his headphones back, put glasses on, and is now wearing. Is that a black fedora?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the betting special, my friends. It's me rolling here at the tables. We're down here at the Star Vegas tables. Don't call it New Vegas because this is only Star Vegas. Welcome to the Game of Stars. Would you like to know a little bit about the Game of Stars?
I definitely want to know a little bit.
I personally would.
Listeners, I had no idea who was going to do this. I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead. Game Star Vegas.
The Game of Stars. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is a scoreboard about, and we will have 3 categories in this scoreboard. The first one will be Dave, the second one will be Tom, and the third one will be Guess. Now, each week we do the podcast, which could be every month, it could be every year. You never know with the amount of Starfield details that we're going to get. We're going to be putting bets on the scoreboard. Now, when we put a bet in the scoreboard, we will each go in a turn, and we will say one bet. And that bet will be what's going to be in the Starfield game. So we will put one thing on that board. Then the remaining members will assign a point value from 1 to 5 on how spicy that bet can be.
And then we find out later. Is this something we wait till we get?
Each week we will be adding more points to the scoreboard. And when Starfield releases, if we have gotten all of the information that we need, whoever loses the bet has to eat the spiciest pepper on the podcast at release.
Oh my goodness. Also Fallout Hub callback. Are you doing your Danny DeVito voice again?
No, this is a Southern gentleman like I'm in Lady Killers. My name is Tom Hanks, and this is the betting special.
My bad.
So Mr. Betman, he's going to go away now. And Dave's going to come on and put his bet on.
Goodbye, Mr. Betman. See you later.
All right. We'll see Batman next episode.
Okay. So does the guest get to go first? So we basically, to go over this again, we make a prediction. We write it down. We determine... Does everybody vote, or the other people vote on?
We collectively decide how
many points
spicy that is. So
if
I'm like, there's gonna be dragons in Starfield. That's probably like from a scale of 1 to 5. That's probably like a 5.
Probably like 5. Okay, got it.
If we're like, they're gonna have rockets on their back. That's probably like a 1. So
got it. Okay.
So the crazier it is, and it gets in there, the more points you're gonna get.
But it's worth it maybe because it might actually be in there. Okay. So everything up until this point is star facts. This is now actual speculation.
Yes. Oh, and if the guests somehow win against us, then we both have to eat a spicy pepper.
Oh man,
the spiciest of peppers.
Geez. Okay. All right. I will be preparing my mouth and also my butt. Because let's be honest, we eat something spicy, it burns on the other side too. All right, Toon. Let's start with our guest. Let's put our guest first. Toon, do you have a prediction? A spicy, spicy pepper prediction.
Spicy. Oh man,
prediction.
I had something very, very safe. I was going to say. Now I can't say anything safe.
You could.
Now you can't.
Okay. Now you can't.
I got one. My spicy prediction. Microsoft is acquiring Bethesda, allegedly, they have an intent to acquire them. I'm going to go with the Warthog vehicle.
Oh, there's going to be a Warthog
in the Starfield game.
Ooh,
The Warthog.
Ooh. Now, will it be called? It will be called the Warthog, though.
It will be something similar to the Warthog.
So either will be modeled after a Warthog and called something else, or
you will say it when you see it. You'll say, "Oh, that looks like the Warthog."
Ah, got it.
That looks okay. So it just looks like the Warthog.
Basically, they took it from the Halo game, the model, and used it in this game. Maybe or maybe did not call it a Warthog. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Something that looks like the Warthog vehicle.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's like a 4. I think it's like a 3 or 4 spicy.
I think that's a 2. I think that's a 2.
You think it's more likely?
It's likely. I think it's likely.
I don't know.
The amount of you're riding a Jeep. You're riding Jeeps when you're on these planets. If you're getting on the planets at all, you're getting in a Jeep.
But will it look like a Warthog? Where it has the big wheels? It has like there's a very specific design to it.
Turning and everything, and a cool.
Let's let chat help us decide. Chat, what?
Give us the pepper.
Vote some numbers here while we move on to the next one. We'll kind of average it out and we'll come up with a number. Yeah. All right. Dave, should I go next or do you want to go next?
You can go next, sir.
Okay, I don't know how spicy this one is. It's a little spicy, but I've been inspired by Toon's predictions here. I think, and he said his picture was not an Argonian, but I think we're going to get Stargonians.
Stargonians, boom.
I think we will have a reptilian space race in the game. And they may not be called, they probably aren't called Stargonians. If they are called Stargonians, then this better be a 5. But I think we're going to get a reptilian space race in the game.
I think I'm going to call them Stargonians. I mean, are we talking, is this like, I'm thinking Slee Stacks now. For like
Stacks, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a 5.
All right.
People are saying 2 or 3 for Toons.
For Toons, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. It's kind of split. I was thinking more 3. You were thinking 2. Let's go with a 3 for Toon.
Let's go with the 3 for Toon.
Yeah.
We'll see what people think about the reptilian space race. If it's not a 5, it's got to be a 4. It's a 4 or 5.
Yeah, if they're actually called Stargonians, then this is like 10. Like
that's a 10 out of 5.
10 out of 5. Right. 4 for Reptile, you money mills. All right, Dave, what's your prediction? While they chime in here with some votes for mine.
So there now hear me out. Let me finish. There will be bugs.
Like
not just
space bugs?
Not just Bethesda bugs.
Or
that you have. There will be space bugs. Space bugs. There will be gigantic. Here's what I'm going to say.
Starship Troopers bugs?
There will be Starship Troopers like bugs, like gigantic ants or the like. Like there will be gigantic. I'm going to say gigantic bugs.
Got it.
Like we have it.
I'm going to say a 2 because
Toon thinks this is likely.
Because no wait. I think
unlikely
it's
is 5. Very likely is 1.
Because we also see giant bugs in the Outer Worlds as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm talking about bugs that are bigger than humans. I'm talking about like
giant bugs.
That's what
giant. That's what giant means, right?
Bigger than
sure.
Big.
Gigantic. There will be gigantic bugs.
Gigantic bugs. You're getting a lot of 1s for space bugs. 1.
Okay,
people
sure. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay,
you know what?
Let's give it a 1. All right.
Give it a 1. Tom, what did you get for your reptile situation?
It was like 4 or 5, I think.
Go with the 4. Let's go with the 4.
Yeah.
Let's go with the 4. And that's a good one.
Yeah.
Reptilian space race.
Quote, Stargonians. Unquote.
Quote, Stargonians. Okay.
Stargonians. With a 10.
Stargonian.
With a 10 after that one. It's a double.
Yes. Right.
This is a double prediction.
Gentlemen, are those bets locked in? Because I will call the dealer. He's not coming back, but I'll call him and tell him that they are.
You can call him and tell him my deal is locked in. Tell the bet man. Star bet man.
Yep. I think we're good. All right.
I'll dial him up.
So something that looks like a Warthog vehicle from Toon for the guest slot. 3. Reptilian, maybe Stargonian race. 4. And Dave's there will be gigantic bugs. 1. So different strategies. We'll see how this shakes out in the long run. Very cool. All right, let's move on to the next part of the show. So I guess it's the end of the show.
It's the end of the show.
It's the end of the show. I thought there was another song. There isn't. This is our first episode, working out the kinks.
This is the end of the show.
But thank you for joining us. I think we worked in some of that what would have been that other session into this. I think we've got enough sections in the show. Dave,
We've gone for an hour and a half now.
Yeah, we're good. All right. Thank you everybody for joining us. Please look us up on Twitter. So what is the Twitter? It's at Starfield Lore.
Starfield Cast.
At Starfield Cast.
It can't be Starfield Lorecast. It's too big. It's too big. It's too big of a subject.
Too big.
So it's
and Starcast is another thing, so we can't be that.
Yeah, it's Starfield Cast, and that's on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Yahoo, Google Plus,
MySpace,
MySpace, Zynga, AOL Instant Messenger, ICQ.
That's my favorite to listen to it. 4chan. So look us up on Twitter. Join us in the Discord, on the Robots Radio Discord. There is a channel specifically for Starfield. Throw us, heck, if you guys can do your own MS Paint, that would be awesome. I would love to.
Oh my gosh.
I would
send it to me.
Share them on the Discord. Send them to us on Twitter. We will highlight those in future episodes. We will be back who knows when. So make sure that you are following us on whatever podcatcher you're using. You're paying attention to the Twitter account. You're on the Discord. We will send out announcements, a few days before we're doing our next episode. You're following us on twitch.tv/robotsradio. Maybe turn on the notification settings so you know when we go live, because we stream all of our podcasts live on this channel. And come back and visit us again for a future episode. Until then, why don't we sign off? Tune, what do you have going on? What do you want to tell people about before we go?
Check me out Monday through Friday at twitch.tv/Tooniversal for all Bethesda all day.
All Bethesda all day. Lots of Fallout 76 lately. Lots of awesome fun times in the mornings.
Yep.
I'm usually in there hanging out, saying,
yep.
Yeah, he's really great. You should definitely seriously check him out if you like watching streamers. He's probably one of the best Bethesda streamers. There, I said it. I laid that gauntlet down.
It's true.
9:30 a.m. Eastern is when I start.
It's true. Tune, you do an awesome job. He's interactive with his chat. He's got cool little stuff he puts together, like animations, all sorts of fun things. He's got lots of tips for Fallout 76 right now. If you want to play that, you can ask him questions about that. High quality stream, all of that stuff. There's so many people who are streaming, and I don't mean to be mean to anyone, who just sit there and play a game. And Tune is 10 times better than that. So go watch him.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. Dave, what do you have going on?
I've got this crazy podcast called Starfield Lorecast that we make every so often, that we don't have any lore to discuss, but it's on there. I also do this show with Tom called The Fallout Hub. There was an episode that Tune was on recently talking about the Microsoft stuff, and that was a really fun little breakdown. Digital get down, as the Backstreet Boys would say. There's a lot of Backstreet Boys on the show today. And then I do Geography Arcade. I've got some interesting Halloween plans. I've been doing it slower. I've been doing it real nice and slow. So the episodes are longer and they're more in depth, and I really like that more. And I think to talk about, it's a podcast all about geography and video game worlds, and so it's a deep dive on world environments and the worlds that you love. So
there you go.
Maybe you'll listen.
There you go. And you can find me at robotsradio.net along with any of the other podcasts on our network. There's a whole bunch of them, and we're continuing to grow. I also am the host of a bunch of other podcasts, including a bunch about other Bethesda games. Like I do the Fallout Hub with Dave. I do the Fallout Lorecast Mondays live on this channel. I do the Elder Scrolls Lorecast on Thursdays live on this channel. I also do the Dungeons and Dragons Lorecast, and the Cyberpunk Lorecast, which is about to launch very, very soon, is going to be freaking awesome. So come check out the live streams, check out the Robots Radio YouTube channel for videos of all this stuff if you prefer to watch the video formats and see the pictures and things, or just look us up on any podcatcher, any of those things, or just go to robotsradio.net. You'll find a whole list of shows, and you can catch me on twitch.tv/robotsradio, where I also stream games in the evenings a few nights a week, usually on the nights that I have other shows going on as well. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's time to take off your serious faces. You can smile again. Yay! Serious faces done. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. I'm going to replay that outro music just so we can enjoy it again.
Yet again.
And hail Jonesy. Hail Jonesy.
And hail to the Jonesy.
Hail to the Jonesy.
See you guys next time. Later. That's the wrong music. Here we go. I'll fix this stuff. I'll get it working by next time.
It's all in post. You'll get it all in post.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope that you enjoyed this show.
Did you know that parodies are copyright protected?
Tell a friend and review
On iTunes.
Or other services.
Dave and Tom excited for Starfield. Let's all speculate and wear no shoes.
Hey, why aren't we wearing any shoes?
Because shoes rhymes with iTunes, and that's the best I could think of.